Hi everybody, I have a story for you. It's all about Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle. I might need your help in this story. Boys and girls, do you have a thumb? Do you have another thumb? Then you're going to be all set. Why don't you copy me? Are you ready? Okay. Are you really ready? Okay. Are you really ready? I'm just not feeling that you're totally ready. Okay. All right. This is the story of Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle. Mr. Wiggle and Mr. Waggle. Mr. Wiggle lived in this house. And Mr. Waggle lived in this house. One day, Mr. Wiggle decided to go visit Mr. Waggle. So he opened the gate. Oh, that's too much fun for me to do that by myself. Can you do that with me? So he opened the gate. And he came outside. Boop! And then he closed the gate. And he went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, until he got to Mr. Waggle's house. He knocked on the gate. Knock, 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 Mr. Waggle. Knock, knock, knock. No Mr. Waggle. So he went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill. One more time. And up the hill and down the hill, until he got to his house. He opened the gate. He went inside. Boop! And he closed the gate. And he went to sleep. Well, pretty soon, Mr. Waggle decided he would go visit Mr. Wiggle. So he opened his gate. Boop! And out he came, and he closed the gate. And he went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, until he got to Mr. Wiggle's house. He knocked on the gate. Knock, 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 Mr. Wiggle. Knock, knock, knock. No Mr. Wiggle. So he went up the hill and down the hill. Do this with me. And up the hill and down the hill. And up the hill and down the hill. And he went back to his house. He opened the gate. He went inside. And closed the gate. Well, pretty soon Mr. Wiggle decided to go and see Mr. Waggle, and Mr. Waggle decided to go and see Mr. Wiggle. So they opened their gates, boop, and they came outside, and then they closed their gates. And they went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, until all of a sudden they saw each other, and they said, "Hello, Mr. Wiggle. Hello, Mr. Waggle." And they talked 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 until it was time to say goodbye. 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 And they went up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, and up the hill and down the hill, until they got to their houses. And they opened their gates, and they went inside, boop, and they closed their gates, and then they went to sleep. That's the end.